Good morning. This is Giovanni Gallucci, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Giovanni.
Rachel Donovan back with us out of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro. How's the loft this morning?
Sunlit, quiet, coffee's already on. Maps on the table from a weekend that didn't quite happen the way I planned.
Tell me about it.
I was going to take the FJ down toward Hyco. Then the RAV4 needed a tire and the morning got eaten by the dealership.
So you drove the boring car to Plano and called it a road trip.
I drove the boring car to Plano and called it a Sunday.
Honest work.
Honest work. The FJ's still sitting in the carport, sounding like it always does. Which is to say, like a sewing machine the size of a small refrigerator.
That's the kind of sentence that ends up in a tire ad if you're not careful.
I'm careful.
How's the music situation going? You still on the Texas country kick?
Cody Jinks one day, Pearl Jam the next. The Venn diagram is wider than people think.
That's a Tuesday playlist if I ever heard one. All right, 3 sections today. First, the outdoor lane, where the North Face quietly moved the floor on adaptive gear and the mid-sized truck buyer just became the only customer that matters. Second, clean label food and beverage, where protein soda is being born in the same week prebiotic soda is being sued. And third, content, social, and AI, where Instagram has been telling brands what to optimize for, and brand teams have been measuring something else. Let's go! Start with the story Grok led with this morning because it's the kind of thing that doesn't get a press tour but resets the floor of the whole category.
The North Face shipped the Universal Collection in late April. Adaptive outdoor gear, mass market price, full line. Magnetic tent closures. Single hand setup. Oversized zipper pulls. Pack straps that open from a seated position. Built with the adaptive and parasports community, not for them.
And the price point's the part that matters. This isn't a charity line.
It's the regular line with smarter design. That's why it changes things.
So the question coming to your line review in 12 months is, what's your version of this? Brands without an answer spend 2027 explaining themselves.
Gemini was on the same beat from a different door. The mid-size truck Overland Wave. iCamper just launched a trio size of the SkyCamp 4.0 specifically for mid-size SUVs, wagons, crossovers, and mid-size truck beds.
Because that's the buyer now.
Because that's the buyer. Trailers under 4,000 pounds are the hottest pocket of the RV market in 2026. The customer isn't dreaming about an earth roamer. She's doing math on what her financed Tacoma can tow.
Annoyingly, your FJ60 fits this thesis exactly.
The honest rig is the modern rig. I didn't plan that.
You didn't have to. Here's the operator translation. If your homepage hero shot has a 6-figure build in it, you're marketing to a customer who left the page before she scrolled. The new hero is a Maverick with a kid's car seat in the back and a Costco bag in the cargo area.
Claude flagged a harder edge on this same week. Yellowstone had its first bear attack of 2026 on May 4th. Glacier had its first fatal encounter in nearly 30 years on May 6th. Warm winter pushed grizzlies out of hibernation early.
That's a real one.
National parks pulled 331 million visits in 2024. Most of the new arrivals in May are first-timers who saw a reel and bought a flight.
So the brand opening here isn't a hero shot. It's a quiet, operator-tone safety post. Carry the spray on your chest. Hike in groups of 4. Make noise on blind corners. Skip the dawn and dusk windows in May and early June.
That post saves lives. It also tells the customer the brand has actually been on the trail.
ChatGPT had the other piece of this, and it's a planning beat brands keep skipping. The America the Beautiful Pass went fully digital January 1st. $80 for residents, $250 for non-residents, plus $100 per person at 11 marquee parks.
Fee-free days are resident only now.
So if you sell to an out-of-state visitor this summer, you've got one of the highest intent search opportunities of the year sitting in front of you. Build the access guide. Suggest second-tier alternatives. Not political. Useful.
Black Canyon of the Gunnison. North Cascades. Great Basin. The flagship overflow has somewhere to go.
And one more piece because 3 of the 5 reports hit it. Camp coffee is still the most posted outdoor ritual on the platform.
Steam off the enamel mug. Pour over on a flat rock. No face, no price tag. AeroPress, Wakako, Stanley, all built sustained organic followings on user content where the product is in the frame and never in the caption.
If your brand sells anything used before the sun's all the way up, hand the shoot to a creator who already posts the ritual. Don't art direct it. The morning's the product. The gear's a cameo.
That's the play.
All right, 3 things you can do today before we move on. 3 things you can actually do today. 1. Audit your hero shots before Friday. If the vehicle in the frame costs over $80,000, swap it for a mid-sized truck or a 15-year-old SUV with real miles on it. The customer you're trying to reach drives one of those. 2. If you sell into bear country categories, ship 1 operator tone safety post this week. Carry on the chest. Groups of 4. Noise on blind corners. No fear-mongering, just the protocol.
3. Pick one second-tier park in your region and build a real planning guide around it. Trails, season, gear list, the new fee math. That's a saved and shared post that earns you the search rank into July.
This is where the reports disagreed today in a way that's actually useful.
Rock was bullish. Protein soda is becoming a real category in May 2026. Lumen won the UNFI Pitch Slam in February with a dairy-free clear protein in a soda format. Clean Simple Eats jumped in this month. The cooler door is being reorganized in real time.
And Claude, about an hour later, basically read the obituary on the last category that looked like this one.
Olipop is defending a class action that calls its drinks sugared water, with no real digestive benefit. Poppy already settled a similar suit for $8.9 million. The fiber math on a lot of these cans never quite added up to what the front of pack implied.
So one report's writing the birth announcement on a category, the other one's writing the eulogy on the one right next to it. That's not a contradiction, that's the cycle.
Both can be true.
Both can be true. But here's where I'd push back on the protein soda hype, because the shape's familiar.
Push?
3 years ago, prebiotic soda looked exactly like this. Big launches, category math going vertical, acquisitions in the billions. Then the back of the can met a customer who could read, and the lawyers showed up. If you're a clean label brand looking at the protein soda window, the lesson isn't move fast. The lesson is lead with receipts.
Source. Strain. Real grams per serving on a number the lab can defend.
Right, anyone vibing their way through a label is a class action looking for a plaintiff.
Gemini had the brand that's already doing this the right way. Aonic Fuel. Co-founded by Sonata Greca. Launched nationwide at Sprouts on May 18th. 32 grams of complete protein, 5 grams of fiber, lactose-free milk protein base, 0 added sugar, 160 calories per can.
That's 5 stacked claims on one can.
One can. One hero claim is no longer enough. The shopper is scanning for 2 or 3 at once.
So the lesson for clean label brand teams is the can has to do more work than it used to, and the lab has to back every line on the front.
Copilot had a second piece on this. Non-UPF Verified just rolled out as a real certification from the Non-GMO Project. Spindrift and Amy's Kitchen got there first. 50% of all shoppers and 79% of health-focused shoppers actively avoid ultra-processed ingredients now.
So that's the next badge that does real work on shelf. If your formulation can pass the test, get in the queue this quarter.
Don't wait to find out a competitor got there first.
Second pattern, ChatGPT and Gemini both hit the oil platform story. Jesse and Ben's closed a $10 million Series A led by Graycroft. Seed oil-free fries, national rollout at Target. Nantucket Crisps named Paul Nardone CEO and pivoted the whole platform to avocado oil.
Seed oil-free Alliance certification jumped 216% year over year in Q1. The fat narrative is fully flipping.
So an oil call-out on the front of pack is no longer a niche play. It's the new everyday clean label baseline.
And the brand safe way to talk about it is no panic, no science fight. We use this because our customers asked.
Restraint reads as confidence. You don't have to win the seed oil argument. You just have to answer the question on the can.
Third pattern, and this one's the future of the natural aisle. Brahmi just closed $33 million to scale lupini bean supply. Bob's Red Mill unveiled a new look the same day, leaning into heritage and quality ingredients.
Heritage is back as a credibility wedge.
Ancestral protein platform. Lupini, fonio, teff, amaranth, sorghum. The story isn't invented. It's 3,000 years old.
So if your brand has a real founder story older than 2015, put it on the box. The 2026 shopper rewards age on a panel where everything else looks identical.
And if the brand is new, lean on the ingredients' age. The bean has a longer resume than your founder. Use it.
That's a clean read of the category. All right, before we move on, 3 moves before we move on. 1. Audit your front of pack today. Stack at least 2 functional claims. 3 if you can earn them. 1 hero claim is no longer enough, and the brands with stacked cans are pulling away in the cooler set. 2. If your formulation can clear non-UPF, get in the non-GMO project queue this quarter. The certification is going to do more category work on shelf than any social spend you have planned this year.
3. Print the oil you use on the front of pack. No panic copy, no movement language, just the fact. Avocado, olive, tallow, whatever it actually is. The shopper is reading the back already. Meet her on the front.
Instagram's been telling brands what to measure for months now, and most brand calendars still haven't caught up. This is the one every operator listening needs to actually absorb.
Claude led with the cleanest signal. One DM share is now worth roughly 15 likes in the distribution model. Sends are weighted 3 to 5 times higher than likes for new audience reach. The pretty hero shot is losing to the post a customer actually texts a friend at 11 p.m.
Likes are decoration. DM shares are the scoreboard.
That's the line.
So here's the test. Would a real person open their messages and send this to a specific friend with no caption?
If the answer's no, the post is going to underperform no matter how clean the production is.
ChatGPT framed the same shift from the platform side. Adam Mosseri publicly called 2026 the year of raw content. The 3 ranking signals on Reels are completion rate, DM sends per reach, and saves per reach. That's the dashboard.
Trial Reels is the workflow Mosseri specifically recommended. Publish to a cold audience first. Promote only the ones that hold completion.
A free native A/B test that most brand teams haven't picked up yet. That's a layup nobody's running.
And the human signal underneath all of this. Sprout's 2026 index put it plainly. The top thing consumers want from brands this year is human-generated content. The top complaint is undisclosed AI work.
Here's where I want to push back because I think the lo-fi conversation gets oversimplified.
Push.
When people say raw wins, what they actually mean is honest wins. Honest doesn't mean shaky vertical iPhone footage of nothing. It means a real person, on camera, saying something a real person would say. Lo-fi as a strategy is not the same as lo-fi as an aesthetic.
The aesthetic is downstream of the trust.
If your founder reads a model-generated script in a coffee shop voice, the audience can smell it. Doesn't matter how rough the framing is. Bad coffee in a nice mug is still bad coffee.
So the rule isn't shoot rougher. The rule is say something true.
That's the rule. Next pattern. 3 of the 5 models flagged the same structural format trio winning Reels this month.
The I Have Therapy cut from at Seatora. The Dracula 2-person walk on the Jenny remix of Tame Impala. And the Everything Hallelujah rhythm list. All 3 are structural, not aesthetic. Brands can plug into the shape without forcing a vibe.
And the audio adoption window has tightened to 24 to 48 hours per Gemini. If your approval cycle is Friday to Monday, you're missing every wave.
Pre-approve an audio allow list. Let the team ship inside the window without legal review.
One more from the LinkedIn desk. PDF document carousels are pulling around 7% engagement versus around 2% for single images. Native newsletter open rates are sitting at 40 to 50%, the highest of any format on the platform.
And personal profiles are getting roughly 561% more reach than company pages on the same content.
So the brand page is becoming a hub, not a broadcast tower. The actual broadcast network is the people behind the brand, founders, customer success leads, Product managers, the person at your company who already shows up on camera.
Pick the host you already have. Lock the premise. Pre-commit to 6 episodes before you publish one.
Episode 4 is where the curve almost always turns. Episode 2 is where teams quit. Hold the line.
One last piece. Claude flagged Threads at 450 million monthly users now. Brands using employee advocacy are reporting 10 to 15 times the organic reach they get on the brand handle.
That window's not going to stay this cheap. Meta opened global Threads ad inventory earlier this year. That's the signal the free reach starts compressing.
Open the brand account this week. Threads native, conversational, no cross-posting.
All right, last set. Here's what to actually do with all of that. 1. Add DM shares to your dashboard today. Make it the primary KPI for the rest of 2026. Likes can settle where they land. 2. Stand up a personal account for your founder, your lead operator, or your loudest customer success person. Cross-post nothing. Treat the brand handle as the hub and the human as the broadcast.
3. Pick one trial reel concept this week and ship 2 variants. Watch cold audience completion. Promote only the one that holds. That's a free A/B test most of your competitors aren't running.
That's the show. If you're a brand operator hearing all this and thinking the pipe to ship against it is the hard part, that's the work we do at Marfa Strategies. AI-powered content and social pipelines for outdoor lifestyle and clean label CPG. Field tested, founder-led, no buzzwords. This episode came out of the same pipeline. Daily cross LLM trend synthesis, scripted, voiced, and mixed before sunrise. If any of that's useful, gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. Talk tomorrow.